Hi, and welcome back to In My Hometown. A part one was not enough time for our recap of the Golden Bachelor and the After the Final Rose show. So we are doing a part two today. And this is not just us that felt like we had more to say. We had so many comments and DMs and texts from folks and just really appreciated the engagement and just a lot of more conversation to be had. So we decided that we're going to add another show, another recap.
Yeah, and on top of it, I think it's time for us you and I to get together because we've been texting back and forth. So it'll give us a chance for us to communicate and a little bit have the feeling of what's going on with the recap too and the future guests we're going to have in the future. So I think it's good to be the two of us together.
Yes, great. So what did you think of the intro?
I like the intro.
It's a new intro
Yeah. I mean, I like the intro. I think it's cute. Receive a lot of comments from it. A lot of people like it. They said, stop dancing because you're not good.
Yeah.
But they
or
said
keep dancing.
Yeah, no, stop dancing. You're not good, but at least you look very good.
Okay, that's pretty much all that I see people say about you as well.
Do not
the
dance.
surface.
You stand in front of the camera. I said, okay, but I'm trying. You know, what I mean, I'm trying.
I think people are loving it. That's why I keep adding new dances for you to do, and we've got some more, so that is fun. I worked on it, as you know. I went back and forth with you on it, and I think it came out really nice. And for all the comments that we keep getting of add Pascal to everything, and Pascal should be a co-host. He's here.
I am the co-host,
and he is now in the intro. Yeah. And so we're just, like we said, every time we continue to have fun with this. We continue to enjoy the response that we're getting from everyone, and we're going to keep it going. And we keep saying we're going to keep it going and just use the Golden Bachelor as this jumping off point for these really meaningful conversations about dating, divorce, relationships, everything under the sun. Because when you're over 50, all of that matters to you. And it's just how do we talk about these things?
I like the fact that we bring some experts in the hot seat and have conversation with them because, I've learned a lot during those couple podcasts we did with couple experts, the support after a divorce.
Yes.
I think that was very important. We talked a little bit about the matchmaker. How do you meet someone? Because it's difficult in the pre-golden and golden years to meet someone. So I think it's very nice for us to have a conversation with experts who are able to enlighten our viewer about what to do. And I'm sure a lot of people are in that circumstance and condition. So I think it's good. I love the fact that we have people in here in the hot seat.
Yeah, and I would say that you are learning a lot. We had last week we had the relationship expert Jamie Bronstein, and we only scratched the surface.
I know we have to have her again.
We're going to have her again.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lot of part twos, maybe part threes. But which is really great because it just means that there's so much there to dig into, and we really just scratched the surface on you and your relationships and datings. And a lot of people had comments about it. I think one in particular that I saw as a thematic in the comments was, about compromise and maybe, does Pascal compromise enough or doesn't he? So let's not today. We don't have to talk about it.
We could talk about it. Compromising.
Yeah.
I think if you have that energy with a woman, you're willing to compromise.
Yes. Okay.
If you do not have the energy, well, there's no need to compromise. There is no need to be with a woman. I mean, I like to compromise, like she mentioned one time. What is your non-negotiable? There is certain thing for me who is non-negotiable. If I go on a date and I see something who I don't like, there is no second date. I don't give it, like she mentioned something about the steak and Karin, and she come up and she said, the way you could approach that is to tell her, I had dinner with a friend of mine and he went on a date and the girl was Karin. I mean, a woman with common sense will know that I'm talking about her. Okay? So
I agree. That story, Jamie had so many good points.
Yes, but this one wasn't a good one.
I would not take that advice.
No.
I think that person would exactly think that you're.
Yeah, I mean, a woman with common sense say, oh my God, with the second date, he's telling me his friends went to dinner and cut the steak. No, I think I will be embarrassed to say that.
Yes,
personally.
yes. But I guess where she was going with it is, would you rather than just write this person off?
Yes. Write it off.
But maybe this person could learn to cut their steaks
It's not my problem.
Okay.
I think to me, I'm at the point in my life right now where I'm not here to teach or to try to modify someone, particularly in our age. I mean, if you don't know to cut your steak at that age, I ain't going to change her.
Okay. All right, we're going to leave that there.
Yeah, leave the steak alone.
We're going to leave that there for
leave
now.
the steak alone
We'll get
for
back
now.
to it.
Yeah.
All right, so like you said, we typically during the week, we typically are texting back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
You were very MIA this weekend over the week. What were you doing? Where were you?
This week?
Yeah.
What would I mean? The week went so fast.
It did
I mean,
go fast.
You know, I went to LA on a Monday. I came back on a Tuesday. On a Wednesday, oh my God! I mean, it seemed like I go out every night. On Saturday, actually, I did a fun time. I went to the Ferrari dealer. They introduced a new car,
Ferrari,
and it was
okay.
a big party. So I went there at look at the cars. Not for me, but I mean, it was a fun event. Meet a lot of people. You know, like I belong to that car clubs.
Yes.
So you know, the Ferrari, Maserati, Aston Martin. So I'm very much into cars.
Right.
So it was nice to talk to somebody who has the same feeling with me. I went to an opening of an art gallery, which I met a couple more people. I mean, it seemed like I have a very busy social life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like to just stay home and walk around my house.
Right, in your slippers. And
In my slipper,
in
in my underwear, you know, just like, you know.
with your pipe.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that's fun. I just was wondering, just because, like I said, we do tend to text a lot, and I was busy too. I was busy watching a lot of TV over the weekend.
What did you watch?
I watch so many shows.
Which one?
I'm trying out, All's Fair, which I cannot see you watching. It's with Kim Kardashian and Naomi Watts. It's on Hulu. And it's a new Ryan Murphy show, but I've been watching that. The fashion's good. You should watch it for the fashion.
Yeah, I would love to eventually have a segment about the Kardashian because I have a lot to say about the Kardashians.
Okay, wow.
You know, I think to me, the phenomena of where they were to where they are today, for what?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
Okay, we could have a good conversation then.
Yeah,
'Cause I wouldn't defend them so much, but I do think that what they've created essentially a brand empire based on a
and based on what?
Based on, right, I was gonna be mean and say based on a sex tape, but I don't think that it could be really said that anymore. I think that was a really long time ago where Kim had that that tape that came out that really put her on the map. But I think since then, I think it's really smart. They're clever. They're business people, right? Marketing geniuses. So when I was at Sears a million years ago, we had the Kardashians as part of. They had a line at Sears and Sears apparel, and they're just from how far they've come. They started. You sort of start somewhere and then you build, and they always have realized that's how it goes. You don't need to just start from the top. They really get to understand a business. I don't know. So we could go into it for a long time, but that show is not. It's not great, but it's certainly a guilty pleasure. Another show I just started two that just launched. One is called The Beast in Me, with Claire Danes and Jonathan Rist. You're probably not watching that one either, but it's a good one. And then I also started, I put these down, and Malice with David Duchovny. These are sort of cat and mouse shows and dramatic, very White Lotus-esque in a way, and I like them. So
we have a completely
I'm looking in your eyes.
So I'm going to tell you what I've been watching when I have a time.
I can't wait
I watched
to hear.
the Mayor of Kingston, which is a kind of drug mayor.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. I love the action. I love the filming. It's a brainless because if you leave a couple minutes to go pick up an ice cream, you don't miss anything. Okay. The other one I love, believe it or not, is Tulsa King.
Yes,
I love Sylvester Stallone. The demeanor, the way he walks, the way he talks.
He dresses really nice.
His dress is so. I don't want to say the word. They go.
Yes,
but he's very those suits and those colors. I mean, he's like. I think the show is fantastic.
I watched the first season of that. It's now.
I mean, I love that's the third,
So
the
maybe
third or
I'll
fourth,
go back to
third
it.
or fourth season.
Okay.
And the one I really love is Landsman.
Landman, did you just watch the premiere?
I watched the whole season. I watched the whole season.
But the new season just came out.
I'm saving until it's completely finished for me to be able to
you like
watch.
to binge.
Because I don't like to come up week after week after week after week. So I wait the season.
Well, I watched the first season of the first episode of the new season. It's with Demi Moore. They're giving her a bigger role.
bigger role. I mean, what a revamp of a person. The look. Wow. What I mean, I want to know who taking care of a plastic surgery.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
Next week we are having on a plastic surgeon, Dr. Michael
I got
Lee,
a
is going
tons
to
of
sit with
questions.
us. Yeah. So we're going to bring up some celebrity photos and see if he'll talk to us about that. So let's ask him about Demi Moore.
Yeah, and
she looks fantastic.
And the last one I'm watching is The Last Frontier.
And that one I'm watching too, Jason. I forgot his name, but yes, I like it. It's like they're in Alaska, and this plane crashes with all of these prisoners.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so we are watching. So I just watch a lot. So
I don't watch that much, but I'm very big into the news. The Epstein file, the shutdown of the economy, and maybe one day we'll have a segment about my point of view of a political point of view.
Maybe not. I don't think it's a good idea, actually. But let's keep to the lightness.
Let's keep to the fun.
Keep to the lightness and the fun. So that's good. So you do what? I didn't really see you as a TV watcher too.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not really that much. It's not that often that I sit and watch TV. Yeah. But once in a while, when I don't go out, I'd like to sit down and just take my brains away and watching the show. So it takes me a very long time to watch a series.
Yes.
But I do enjoy it once in a while. I put a little fire, I'm alone, I'm relaxed, I don't have to answer to anybody. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I think I'm missing a little bit now our weekly Golden Bachelor show. So I think, we're going to go into a little bit of a sort of a depression that it's not here. Withdrawal. That's better.
But let me ask you a question. Would you like to talk about the new Bachelorette?
Well, I do want to talk about who. Yes, the new Bachelorette.
The new Bachelorette. I think it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about her feeling about what the behavior of the young generation and how they behave, how they handle themselves. And
I think we'll do. I'm pretty sure that we'll do a recap. Some recaps when that show launches. It's going to be out, I believe, March 22nd is what the date is for the premiere of that one with Taylor. She is she's from the Wives of Mormon Wives, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, having a major brain menopause, potentially a menopause brain. We're also going to have a expert. You don't know this yet, but I've booked an expert on menopause.
Oh my God. All right, it's good.
We're going to talk all about that.
And how look, it's an important subject, I think. I mean, there is a lot of women who go to menopause. So is men.
Yes.
In a different ways. Yes. And I think that's the behavior change, the mind change, and, they go, it's challenging.
Well, I want to learn more about it. And I think this person is going to talk a little bit about, too, the hormone therapy and just different things. But we digress. But so to get back to our withdrawal from the Golden Bachelor, and the fact that we had that After the Rose and the finale, and now we're going to talk more about it because there was more to say. So now that it has sunk in a little bit, and it's not so fresh from our last recap, any new thoughts you have on it?
I had the chance to talk to a few of them. Mm-hmm. Sandy, Peggy, Debbie, and they seem like they had a wonderful experience, I think Sandy would have loved the outcome to be a little bit different, but she's happy where she's at right now. Peggy is very happy. I could see her and Mel, on the social media. We follow each other, and they've been spending a lot of time together. And I know now that Mel is in love with Boo Boo, which is Peggy's dog.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it seemed like the show had a good group of women, because I had the chance to meet all of them, from Nicole, from Peggy, Debbie, Sandra. Every one of them were absolutely outstanding, and we are planning to have a few of them in our show as time comes on.
Yeah.
We're in the process of communicating with them, and so hopefully we'll have them in our hot seat and talk a little bit about not just about the Golden Bachelor, but more about their life, where they come from. how did they get where they are, and the challenges they face, how difficult their divorce was, and how they in a relationship dating. I think that will be very interesting to have them, not just talking about their experience in Bachelor, but talking about who they are as an individual.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I'm sure that people listening and watching to us feel the same. These are very vibrant, amazing, smart, beautiful women and men who have a lot to say, who are over 50, and who we could learn from, and really have great, meaningful conversations with. So I think. And we can get some scoop, but certainly have these meaningful conversations. So I think that's great. I'm looking forward to it. I actually had a little bit of a back and forth with Peg just last night. She posted some photos. She posted a video, and I took some screen grabs. These are her
I've seen this
video.
one.
This is screen grabs from her video of Mel. He looks like maybe he's in his 20s or 30s. I can't tell what he'd be here. I didn't ask her that. But we have a couple here, and he really looks great. She, of course, told me that he still looks great. And I said, we know. We saw him with his shirt off many times on the show, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, that's we definitely saw the physique. And I can say that he has a very nice physique. So,
but remember, being a football player,
you have top shape.
You have to be in top shape. I mean, I was in a game with the boys last week, and you see those guys, man, those are athletes. You know, I mean, the conditioning, the training. So I'm not surprised that Mel is. Yeah. I mean, if he's a football player for the 15 years, you got to be in good shape.
Yes, in good shape. But I think, to keep that going, I mean, there's only so much muscle memory. I think he certainly keeps himself in shape. And so she had a lot of fun. I think she's been having fun showing some videos of his old football years. And I think I saw a video where he was running down the field. And so very cool. Very cool. She seems super happy.
She's happy. I talked to her. She's happy. She's having a great time. And she's got a full schedule. She loves to be in our podcast. But again, it's going to take a little time to get her because she's committed with the network to do some appearances. So, but she seems happy. They seem like I think they make a nice couple.
Yeah, I think so.
I said that from the beginning.
No, you did. And I think she was always a front runner. I don't want to, go back. She was always in my top couple.
Yeah.
I did feel that from what I could see, that there had been a bit more of a sort of chemistry with Cindy, but I think that it was definitely apparent maybe before the fantasy suite and after the fantasy suite, certainly, as we discussed, that they really connected.
Yeah, I mean, I think when Peggy went into the fantasy with Mel, I think that's where they really connected. And then Sandy had a lot of connection with Mel. They had a great time together. I think that was a very difficult choice between Peggy and Sandy. I just think then, I talked to Sandy. She's great. She's happy. She's sophisticated. She's nothing but class. And I think she wanted a little bit more than, certification than she's.
Yes.
She needed a little bit more validation.
Yeah.
And Mel wasn't there at the time. And again, I think we talk about that. It's very difficult to go on a great date with a great woman and then go on another date with a great woman. You torn which choice you made. I think if Sandy would have taken the conversation a little bit more casually and have a great time and have that private conversation like Mel wanted into the fantasy suite, I don't know what the outcome would have been. But
do you think it would have been different?
I don't think it would have been different, but that would have been a very difficult decision for Mel to make. I think by Sandy leaving, that give Mel the validation he needed to be with Peggy. But that's the feeling I have as a man, because I just think their chemistry was very tense. They had a very good chemistry. And let's be realistic, Sandy is a beautiful woman.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't know that the outcome would have been different. I guess we won't know. And it's not really for us to sort of, it is, we could go into anything, but I don't know that it would have been different. I do think, though, and I said this before, that Mel it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy that maybe he had this feeling with Peg, and it was so strong from that night before. And again, a 66-year-old man doesn't, typically get himself in a situation that he's going out with these, two women at the same time like this, and then has an intense night and then has another intense night. And it must have been just a lot. And I think the self-fulfilling prophecy was that he may have pushed Cindy away a little bit because he was feeling these feelings for Peg, and B, because maybe he couldn't handle the idea of having two, really. And maybe it wasn't even conscious, but for him to say 2 years, I'm not having any commitment or anything until at least 2 years, he had to have known that was going to strike Cindy in a way. It was going to affect her in a way, and it did. And now I think he was shocked that she said, "I'm sorry, I'm leaving." But because I think he wanted to have both of them there. But I think that whether it was consciously intentional or just happened, I think he really decided that he liked Peg a lot. And then going into Cindy, she was coming at him and wanting too much. And I think that sort of just whole dynamic played out the way it did. And I'm sure Peg is very happy about it. I know she is.
The outcome would have been different if Sandy would have made the conversation lighter and go into the fantasy suite. Probably not. Mm-hmm. But I think it would have been much more difficult for Mel to make a decision, because Sandy is a quality woman. She's classy, she's sophisticated, she's successful, she's retired, she's willing to move. Mm-hmm. So she had a lot to offer. So when I look at Peggy to me is a fun. She's a it's a sunshine every day with Peggy. She likes to have a good time, and that's maybe what Mel likes about her. Okay, don't be so serious. And at age, just relax more and have a fun time. So, he had two quality women there. The choice was going to be very, very difficult, and unfortunately, one will be heard by the end, and that's the way the process. But when you go back to the 2 years commitment, the 2 years relationship, there is no rush of getting married in our age. You know that. In my age, there is no rush. I want to have a relationship with someone. It might take 2, 3, 4 years. But as long as you're committed in the relationship, you don't need to sign those papers to say you're mine. I just think then the commitment is what is important. The trust, the loyalty, the respect. I think all that is important. So the marriage, it's not really that important. You're not 20 years old. To me, when you want to get married, it's because you want children. Mm-hmm. In our age, we don't want any children. We just want to travel, we want to have a good time. And you get to know somebody when you spend time traveling with that person. And when you wake up 7 days a week with her, you see everything about that person. So it's too much pressure.
There's no argument from me on that. And I think a lot of our audience feels the same way, that, you didn't have to have the engagement or the marriage. So then it leads to this question, should the Golden Bachelor change its not policy, but should evolve a little bit, and that maybe in the ring at the end of this journey isn't an expectation anymore? Or is it just going to change on its own? So I guess we'll see.
I think, Jimmy, the ring is a symbol of commitment. It's not a symbol of marriage.
Agree. But
so I don't think they should change the concept of the ring. I think the ring is, look, I'm giving you this ring as a commitment to you.
But Cindy never said, I just want to clarify, she never said, I want to be married tomorrow, or I want to be married right then, or he told her he wasn't ready to get engaged. And that's the commitment that this show has. That is the definition of the commitment of the show. And I did confirm, because last week with Jamie, we talked a little bit about this. And I feel like sometimes I say things and then I'm not strong enough in my conviction of it. And then I go check later, like with the pronunciation of Antigua. But there really hasn't been a time in Bachelor history, and I'm sure our audience will come, with more validation or not on this. But there hasn't been too many times where, I should say this differently, Mel is in a very small club of people who have not asked the person at the end to marry him or her. Okay. And so it's like Colton, I think, and then Juan Pablo, and no one wants to be compared to Juan Pablo. And then I think there may have been one other where there wasn't a specific sort of will you marry me? It was maybe they were holding on to the ring and they were saying that they were going to be, that they were in love. But this was the first time where really the host of the show, Jesse, said, and now we're here with our newly committed couple instead of newly engaged.
And I like
again,
that. And
nothing's
I like
wrong with
that. I like that. Personally, then if I was the Golden Bachelor, I would have done the same thing. This win is a sign of my commitment to you.
Yes, okay? Which I love.
Which I think to me, it's as valuable as would you marry me?
But that's what Cindy wanted.
Yeah,
and I
this
think he
win
gave
is a
her at that dinner.
commitment to my relationship with you. So there is nothing wrong with that because, again, the show is very compressed. In 6 weeks, you have the chance to spend, I'm not going to say how many hours with the person, but, it's a very compressed relationship. After 4 weeks, you can't say, oh, would you marry me? This win is a commitment, of our relationship. If I was the Golden Bachelor, that's what I would have done.
Okay. But you can say, marry me, and then have a prolonged engagement, which is what many of the people do over these many, many seasons. And again, I'm just pushing you. Cindy never said, I need to get married now. She just wanted to know that he was going to commit, and the engagement, giving the ring and saying, will you commit or will you marry me? But we prolong this engagement or we get to know each other. That was what she was asking for. And he said, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Okay.
But if you look at the first Golden Bachelor, Gary, who after 3 months ended up getting married, and I had the chance to read a lot of his book. And to be honest with you.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, you said you weren't going to read it.
But I did because I built up during my time in LA, I built up a wonderful relationship with Teresa, and we had a long conversation.
She's going to come on. We're working with her on scheduling.
We're working on getting Teresa into our hot seat. I had the chance to have a long conversation with Teresa. We spent a lot of time together. She was very hurt by the way Mel portrayed her. So I decided to read a book. The book is garbage, period.
I said that without reading it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just think shame on him to be able to set the thing he said about Teresa and confirm it. Like I said to you, there is 3 sides of the story. There is his, there is hers, and everything in between. And personally, again, and I said that again, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Right. Because why putting Teresa down the way you did without validation? I would like to have Tricia in our seat, and I promise her that if she comes here, we're not going to talk about the book, okay? Because she felt like very offended by the comment that Gary made. And to me, that book is nothing but garbage. It's just a way of making a couple dollars.
Yeah, I don't know how she sat in that studio, just like one section away. You were there. I mean, I would wonder if you could cut that tension with a knife. I know that Joan had said that Gary really never looked over that way. And during the commercial breaks, he wasn't looking over. And I think Teresa was next to Leslie and wasn't looking over. But I can't imagine what that would have felt like for Teresa.
And I felt bad for Teresa. That's why I tried to spend a lot of time with her, because I know she was emotionally hurt by the situation. So we went out for dinner. She sat in my table, and her and I had conversation. Actually, I had a very good conversation with her regarding the business. She's an analyst. She worked the stock market, and I didn't know how educated she was about it. I said, look, maybe I'll give you some of my money. Make me some money.
Right.
No,
right.
She's a smart woman. She's a sweet, kind, smart woman. I really enjoy her company.
I think she didn't deserve what he did. And I think that the fact that he had his new girlfriend there, and then they showed them and they didn't show Teresa. I as a viewer, I would have loved to have seen Teresa. Like I saw her in the audience, but they didn't give her a moment to say hello.
Talk, and they welcome Gary.
But he was the Golden Bachelor.
He was the Golden Bachelor. Welcome Gary's and how you call. She was. I felt bad for her.
She said to me she thought that it was funny that they asked for his advice.
Yeah.
They should not be asking for his advice.
Yeah. No, and I love Chuck. Okay, Chuck and I are very close. As you know, he was here last week. We spent 5 days with me in my home. I took him all over the town.
Nice man.
Very nice. I mean, I love Chuck.
I got to meet him too, yeah.
And but I thought that was funny when Chuck said when they asked him a question, what do you think? And Chuck said, "I see you, Peggy and Mel getting married very soon." He's been engaged for a year.
Right.
I want to go to your wedding before I go to the one of Peggy. So,
right.
But I know they have a very good relationship, him and John, and I spent a lot of time with John, and it was an incredible weekend because I never spent that much time with John. So we had dinner with her.
Yes.
You were there present at the dinner, and after that I saw her at the after parties, and it was just a good time.
Yeah, I loved that night and thought, you try to be in the moment. So I didn't want to be staring so much at everyone, right? We had a table full of people that I could be just, talking to and staring at the whole time. But Joan and Chuck just seemed very natural together.
Yes.
And even though they're in a long distance relationship, you wouldn't know it. They just seemed very comfortable and confident their whole way. And when I came in, I came late because of traffic in LA, which is not surprising. But when I came up and he was asking if I'd like a drink, they were just so warm and coupley. I'm gonna coin a term, coupley.
Yes,
They just felt coupley to me.
Yeah, they have a good relationship.
Yeah.
I believe that. I've always believed that long distance relationship doesn't work. And after talking to him about his experience of long, I'm not close-minded on that anymore. Before I was, no, she's got to live next door.
Wait a minute.
No, you mean, I've talked to a couple of people who have a long-distance relationship, and it seemed like it's working, So before I was, no, she's got to live next door. I want to just take a walk there,
Right.
And I realized that, the relationship of John and Chuck and Peggy and Mel's and a couple of friends of mine who has a long-distance relationship, it's working.
You're growing. I'm so happy for
lot
you.
of therapy. lot of therapy.
This show is really helping you.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of therapy. So, I think it's
okay.
It's kind of
So you'll see, but you're open to that.
I'm open. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm open.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I'm open to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another, sort of thematic that we saw with our comments and our DMs from people and just and some of the coverage over the week has been Mel and his communication style, and that he, being an attorney, is why he's so analytical and the way he was going about sort of talking. So what did you have a reaction to that?
I just think that, again, I said that in our previous show, it's not easy to have a bunch of people around you filming me and taking you and guiding you a little bit. It's a very difficult situation. You have to be very comfortable and very secure about yourself to be able to be yourself in front of the camera. And I just think then Mel, again, and we talked a little bit about that, he got divorced recently. He got thrown into the wolf, and there he goes. And I think he was overwhelmed by the situation, and maybe that's what happened. His communication skill, I found that they could have been a little bit better, but I'm not in his situation. And I think... it's all about the editing.
Yes.
The editing's got a lot to do with it. But everybody who I talked to that night, they said nothing but great thing about Mel. Oh, he's fantastic, he's funny, he's nice, he's kind, he's good looking, he's engaging. So, and I said to those persons, I didn't see that in TV. I didn't see it in the show. So that's why I would love to have him and Peggy in here, because I want to bombard him with questions to find out a little bit who he is, because I really don't know anything about him.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that, and based on a lot of these entertainment TV clips and things, that he's laughing a lot more, and you can sort of see. I just, again, go back to, I think that either he didn't know what he was getting into, or maybe he did, and he just was going to do it on his own terms, but he came off as guarded and reluctant. Someone told me not to use the word hostile. And again,
He wasn't hostile.
But again, I just want to clarify. A hostile witness is someone who's reluctant and unwilling. They're not an aggressive. It's not, I was using in the context of hostile witness, like he was a hostile Golden Bachelor, that he was reluctant and unwilling, but not that he was, of course, hostile. So I think, but I think it's better to just call him. He just seemed reluctant. So, but I also really appreciated some of the comments around, maybe again, he, after the final Rose show, Peg and Mel talked about both being very analytical.
Yes.
I thought that was interesting. I didn't see Peg as that, but if that's the way they see themselves,
what explain to me a little bit what is the word analytical?
I know, right?
What does it mean exactly?
It's less. I think in the context of this, it seems that they're less emotional. They're not leading with their emotions every time, and they're sort of a little bit more thoughtful or analytical about what is going on, and so that would then manifest how they are being, how they're talking. They're maybe not as excited. They're not as, but Peg was excited.
I think, again, this is my opinion. I mean, I've been in a relationship and, for a period of time. And when you break up the relationship, either way, if I leave or she leave me, it takes me time to recoup. And those are small, short relationships. So imagine being married for 25 years, okay, and being divorced for maybe a year. Don't you think then he's still scarred by the divorce, by the struggle he went through, and then all of a sudden he's sent again into a show where he has to find a love. So I think that was maybe the miscast, I would say. I just don't think Mel was ready for that. I think they could have taken a guy who's been divorced for 5-10 years, who's been in the dating world, who has the experience. I think that's my point of view.
This means we're together.
We're together on that.
I completely agree with
that. I just think then, again, being in a relationship for 3 years and break up, it took me almost a year to get over it. Okay? And so being married for 25 years with 2 kids and all of a sudden be divorced just a year, it's going to take me therapy.
Yep.
It's going to take me a lot of friends around me to support me. And the dating is the least thing I want in my mind right now is to figure out what happened to me and how am I going to move forward and focus on my work, on my children, on my hobby. That's what I've seen.
I agree with you. I love this.
I know
we're
agree
in
with
violent
me.
agreement on a lot of things.
I agree because I'm a wise man and I know a lot.
Right. Okay. All right.
I've been around the block 25 times.
I don't disagree with that.
Like that.
I don't disagree with that. I have a lot to learn from you. So I hear you on that. And I do think too that, that maybe they had, not maybe, that all of these people have their love language. And that those love languages sometimes match up. And maybe
what is your love language?
Right. I actually.
What is your love language?
I am a love language. So I'm words, but I think I'm also actions. I'm all of them. I like gifts, like the gifts. I don't know all of them right now off the top of my head, but I think some of them are gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, and then touch. I think those are the loves.
Is touch.
What is touch? I could have guessed that.
Me is the touch.
Right.
The touch is my love language.
Right. And I think I like all of them is sort of like this, moving up and down at different points. But definitely Peg and Mel are probably not words of affirmation, maybe. They are maybe touch or I don't know that it's words. And Cindy seems more that it was words of affirmation,
yes.
Especially here in this particular dynamic.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So good. So let's.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I agree
I
with
want
you.
Some agreement too.
Okay. I agree. Not always, but I agree on this one.
Although, like I just said, I'm not. Well, words, I don't need it that much, but I'll take some affirmation.
Okay.
I'll take some affirmation from anywhere I can get.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Okay. So I just want to make sure because I wrote a bunch of things down. I want to make sure we get to everything. So we did talk about, I have some questions from
go
people.
Ahead. Okay.
These were in DMs and in some of the comments and things. So let's get to some of these. Who would you choose to be the next Golden Bachelorette? And I think we covered this before, but is that different now?
Who would I choose to be the Golden Bachelorette?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah, and Luke, we have some pictures for anyone who's viewing.
Oh, there is quite a few I would choose. I mean,
do we think Cindy's going to be?
I definitely think Sandy will be a wonderful Bachelorette.
Yeah.
I think will be my top. Yeah, I think she will be my top. I'm not gonna do a numbers because I don't want to do 1, 2, 3.
Because you don't want to be wrong.
Exactly. No, because I'm never wrong.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's too soon for you to pick.
Okay.
So
I would
then
say
I think
Sandy,
we had
definitely.
And then don't forget Debbie.
Debbie, definitely.
Yes.
Those are my two choices
and
so
then
far. And there is another one.
Nicole.
No, Nicole.
Carol.
Carol, let me show me. Carol is the blonde with
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Cheryl. I forgot
Actually, I really like
Don't forget
Cheryl.
about Cheryl.
I really like Cheryl.
Right?
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about when we were in LA. She's a motorcycle rider, you know, I mean, and she's a tiny, skinny little girl.
Right.
And she's riding bikes.
Did you have a chance to meet her?
Oh, yeah. I had a
you
picture
did?
with her. We spent time together and everything. She was flirting with me a little bit, but she's only human, you know?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I really like her. And for her age, she looked spectacular.
Yes.
Spectacular.
How about not for her age? How about just she looks spectacular?
Yeah, but I mean, I think I have to put the age because, I mean, at that age,
right.
I mean, it is incredible. I mean, she looked better in person than she does on TV.
I just think this is a little aside, but I was watching Dancing with the Stars the other night, and Elaine Hendricks, she's this actress. You probably don't know her.
No.
She's 54, which is how old I am, and I don't think it's that old. And they keep talking about her on the show like she's 54, and look what she's doing. I just feel like we don't always have to put the age there. Like,
I mean, I don't agree with you. I think it's nice to put the age because
we've stopped agreeing. We've stopped agreeing.
You stopped
with each other.
agreeing because I think putting the age put the woman to the next level. I mean, a woman like
so you mean
Cheryl, who is 70 years old, who look like a 40 years
Cheryl
old.
Is 70?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I realized that. Okay.
And she looked like she's 40 years old.
And maybe we say the age because it's redefining the age.
It's redefining how well she's taking care of herself. It's part of the genes. It's part of taking care, working out, diet, nutrition, treatment. I don't know. We're going to talk about plastic and self-care, stuff like that. But definitely,
I'm sure she does nothing.
No, I don't think so. So those are my three. Okay,
and then Carol
and Carol is the No. I mean, I love Nicole. Okay, we're gonna have her in.
We're gonna have Nicole here.
We're gonna have Nicole. I think she's vibrant. She's got a great.
Is she gonna bring you lemon? Wait, what are you gonna say?
She's gonna bring lemon bar. She promised me she's gonna make me lemon bar, and then do you know that Nicole was from Chicago?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, she lived in Chicago whole life. She just moved in Florida not long ago.
Oh, I did not.
So she's from Chicago, so she knows the city very well. Huh. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good news.
So,
okay. And then Carol.
Let me see Carol.
I hope Carol's the next one. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That will be my fourth choice.
Yeah.
That would be one of those. And she's extremely sweet and very attractive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was great. They just didn't. I don't feel like we've heard from her at all. I haven't seen her out in any press capacity or anything.
I think she's very involved with the family business. She's like, I think there is a sport tent where a grandson.
Freddie Freeman is her nephew, and he is a Dodger.
He's a Dodger,
right,
and
I think she's
taking care of the
team.
But she's a sweet lady, very pretty.
Yes,
very pretty.
Great. Well, they can't go wrong with anyone from this season.
Yes.
The question will be, which one, and or do they mix it up this time and decide to pull a Golden Bachelor?
You know what? I have an idea for them. Okay. Why don't we take maybe 20 women in the golden years and 20 men in the golden years?
Yes.
But don't put them on the beach.
Okay.
Put them in a
Golden Bachelor in paradise, right?
No paradise. No paradise.
Okay.
Put them the Golden Bachelor in a mansion, the Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette in a mansion, and let's see how we interact and who pick up who.
Right.
The same concept on the beach for the young one, but do it in a sophisticated environment where it's a beautiful mansion, and then they are hanging out and see who's picking up who.
Okay. I think that's a great show idea.
That will be very challenging because I'm sure some women is going to a lot of them is going to gravitate to one guy.
Right.
One guy's going to gravitate to a lot of them. And I think that could be very interesting. I would like to see the behavior of the the Golden Bachelor, Golden Bachelorette interacting together. Actually, it's very funny because yesterday at dinner, Peggy called me and she would like to have an event where she's inviting all the Golden Bachelor from the first, second season and be a big gathering in Vegas. And I've got to call her and send her the list of all those guys to eventually get
fun.
I think that would be a great idea.
Sure,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they're not going to start to do things like that because you have all of these amazing eligible people, and just like with the core Bachelor shows, they do that too, and there's a lot going on. I'll tell you, I want to have Jordan here, which we're going to do with his new girlfriend, and that would be fun to have them chat.
They actually,
so many people to have there.
Actually, they celebrate 1 year anniversary
I saw
today.
that on social,
And so I called him, I congratulated him, and I saw from the group text messages we have from The Bachelor, every one of them with him. And Emily did a beautiful video about the year recap of the two of them. And I'm honest with you, they're very happy. They look very good. Emily is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman, and Jordan is a lucky guy to have her. And she's lucky to have him as well. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. I saw some of that
you saw the
too.
video,
And
right?
Jordan's been playing a lot of pickleball. And he's going to come back, and maybe we'll try to see if he'll bring Emily back with him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So another question: Who? So who do you think the producers would choose? So we just talked about maybe who we think, although you said every one of them because you're not wanting to commit to any
who
one.
The producer would choose.
Right.
Oh my God, that would be tough. I would say between Sandy and Cheryl.
Okay.
I think that's the Sandy. I think the only problem with Sandy, she's in the younger age. She's in the 62s. Yeah. Okay, Cheryl is older, so
I think Cindy's only 60.
Until 60, yes. I'm sorry, 60. Yeah. I apologize,
Let's
Sandy.
Not give her any extra.
No,
years.
I'm sorry, Sandy. So she's 60 years old, and Cheryl is older. So I think you gotta have somebody who's in the mid 60, late 60 to be able to get, because in a 60, a woman could date a 50, 55, and I think,
right. Well, I'll tell you what's going to be really great is when in March 22nd, I believe is, like I said, the premiere of The Bachelorette, that we'll watch that and we'll recap it. This year's going to be a little different. The group of men, as I've heard, are older, a bit older, up into their 30s, 35, I think. So it's not your typical Bachelor where they're in their early 20s and some of them are late 20s. So, and don't catch me, I'm sure that there are some 30-year-olds and the others, but it's just, I had read that this is going to be a little bit more of an older group. And as the Bachelorette is, I think is she twice divorced or once divorced, and she has a couple kids, and she's a little bit, I don't know how old she is. Is she 30?
I don't know, but she is on the wild side.
Wild, that's going to be great.
It's going to be weird. I think she's going to be a lot of drama. It's going to be a lot of fight. I don't think she's going to take any boop from anybody. It'd be very interested.
It is. I also thought I'd read that they gave her, or she has her phone, or she's been doing social media throughout this time, which again is a little bit different from previous bachelorettes or bachelors where they haven't had their phone at all. So I love that the producers are shaking things up a little bit. And I think it's going to be a really interesting season to watch.
I think that, again, the show is 20 years old. And the formula has been working over the last 20 years. I've been in business for 40 years. And over the last 40 years, I reinvent myself. Every 15 years, I'm trying to bring something new, redesign, repaint the room, change the station and stuff like that. I think the show needs to revamp, to modernize it a little bit to today's field. And it seemed like hopefully they will follow with that, because, you don't want to see, and there is a lot of competition up there. When you look at Love is Blind, a 90-Day Fiancé, those are good shows, and I think The Bachelor has got a network and a follower, no doubt in my mind, but they need to reinvent themselves a little bit. And they did by bringing the Golden Bachelor. That was new.
Definitely fresh. And I think I read that the Golden Bachelor finale brought in very high ratings. So
Good to hear. Good to hear.
I think that's really cool
Yeah,
too. I think reinvention is the theme of the golden era.
Yes.
I just watched. I listened to and watch a podcast that Terry Hatcher has, and she was on. Do you remember the Desperate Housewives
Yes,
show on?
yes.
I think that was an ABC show. And she has a new podcast where they sort of rewatch the Desperate Housewives, and she does it with her adult daughter and then her adult daughter from the show. It's a really cute concept. So there's her daughter from the show and then her real life daughter, and they go through it. And I saw her talking, Terry, about how your 50s are this time of just absolute reinvention, especially for women, but I think men too. And, your 40s were not like that. Your 40s are a little bit more still the grind and what you're doing. And then 50s, it's sort of everyone. And I feel it with my friend group, my contemporaries. I feel like everyone, not saying that you have to be doing this, but that someone's starting a new business and someone's starting a new podcast and someone's
getting divorced.
Someone's getting,
they go to the middle of this crisis.
That's
I just think, I went out actually when you talk about the Desperate Housewife. I went out on a date with Kelly Ben Simon.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
She was on The Real Housewives.
She was on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, I believe.
Of New York.
New York, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I met Jennifer, who won on The Housewife of New Jersey.
Okay.
So I went in a podcast with them, and I spent time with Kelly Ben Simon, and we didn't have the vibes.
No, you didn't?
No vibes.
She's very pretty.
She's
former
beautiful,
model.
but I think, I'm not going to...
I heard she's a little...
She's wacko.
Okay.
But
you know what? Isn't that great? It makes the world go round. So, but I could see that would probably not work.
It didn't jive with me.
You could have called me and I could have told you.
I did it because I think, we men, and maybe women, men are very shallow. Okay? Men's need is to look at, and the picture, they have to be visually attracted before they engage. And I think she's a very attractive looking woman, but I engage, and she was no vibes, vibes.
She has a bohemian way about her that I think would not mesh well with you.
What do you mean bohemian way?
Like very sort of out there and...
Talking too much.
Okay.
Talking too much.
Okay. All right. So good. All right. Next question.
Yes.
Which one of these ladies in this current season who are not with Mel would you like to get to know more?
Oh my God, all of them.
Yeah, I bet.
No, I mean, who would you like to get to know more as a friend or as
we definitely want to have all of them on the show. Amy, I was talking to, and we want to have Amy out here with her two daughters would be sort of fun.
Yeah, I think
so. Not necessarily on the show. I mean, for you, like
for me, I think Sandy, Peggy, Sandy, Peggy.
Peg has Mel. You can't get to know.
I don't care about Mel.
All right.
I'm Pascal.
Oh my God. Okay. So
I think I would say the Debbie. I think Debbie, Sandy, and the other one Cheryl. Mm-hmm. And there is another woman who's Asian, very attractive. I don't know her name.
Okay.
But to be quite honest with you, it was a lot. So it's funny because when I talked to Sandy and she said, I heard you met all the girls. I said, yeah. She said, anyone you want me to fix you up with? I know you have no problem, but, if you need help.
Right. What about Alexandra?
Who is Alexandra?
I don't have a picture of her up, so don't.
Who is Alexandra?
She was the one who had the massager.
Puppet? The puppet?
The massager. At the Women Tell All, she had brought the
vibrator. She said the vibrator, not the massage, the vibrator. Okay.
I do not know why I could not come up with that word.
The vibrator. Okay.
It was the vibrator.
The neck massage, they call it.
But she had
it. Yeah, she had it.
Do you remember her? She was sort of...
Yeah, I think, I don't remember her that well, but there is another one who I thought was the Roxanne.
Yes,
The
Roxanne.
dentist from the dentist,
Yes.
Roxanne with the puppet.
Terry had the puppet.
The puppet, yeah.
Oh, was it Roxanne?
Roxanne,
No,
or-
it's Terry.
Yeah, there is
Terry.
two
Okay.
little bit.
Terry has the puppet, and she is I believe she's a dentist.
She's a dentist.
Yeah.
I had a long conversation with her.
Cosmetic dentist.
Very engaging, very interesting.
I mean, it goes very deep. It goes 23 women deep of great people, and I'm sure they had even more. So you're saying that you take them all.
I'll take them all.
Okay.
I
right.
go. I
Heard
go
it here.
5 days a week.
Okay.
I'll cover them about in 3 weeks. I got them all. And
Monica B, too, is amazing.
Monica now is with my good friend
Yeah.
CK.
Yeah.
It seemed like they found each other. I'm so happy for them.
That's so
they
wonderful.
connected very well. We spent the night together, and CK was in Chicago.
Evening,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the evening together, and CK he's got my heart. He's
what
such a wonderful
I mean,
man.
I keep saying classy. These guys are all so classy.
I know. Then he said, I don't know how to dance. He's going to teach me. I don't care, CK. I still love you.
Yeah, right.
And Monica is wonderful. They
Yes.
make a wonderful couple. And I hope then that work. I mean, when you look at the Bachelor, we're in the season, a guy is engaged. Mark is with Barbara Woods, very happy. Gary found somebody. Jordan's got a girlfriend for a year. And now he's CK with Monica. So 5 of them already found connection.
Yeah, that's wonderful, which I'm not surprised. I mean, I would think that the show gives them this, this
I don't know, but I'm
opportunity to meet more people.
but I'm still single.
Well, I think that's all you.
I mean, I keep
serious.
going to therapy, and I can't figure out what's wrong with me.
Okay. Well, I do think it's you. It's not for lack of opportunity. All right. So do you think that, so we think that, these are other questions, that we think Mel and Peg are good together? And I think the answer is a resounding yes.
Yes.
She seems super over the moon, amazing. And do we think Cindy regrets leaving?
I talked to Sandy, and she had definitely feeling for Mel. Definitely feeling for Mel. I think she needed to do what is good for her, and she did. Is she happy with the decision? I think she made the right decision for herself. I think Sandy is very refined, is very classy, she's successful. She seemed like she live an upper style life class, and I think she's happy with the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She strikes me as someone who doesn't stay too long in regret and, moves forward. She got at a good base of those 3 like stunning daughters
Beautiful
of
daughters.
hers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're amazing on the inside too. So, all right, good. And then who do we want to? Oh, we've already talked about who we want to interview next. So we have. I am
in contact with the network, and we would love to have definitely Peggy and Mel in our hot seat. I would like to have Nicole in a hot seat. I would like to have a Sandy definitely.
I love that you keep calling it a hot seat. Do you think it's hot for them?
Because we hot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We hot.
Okay.
Look at
we're certainly, it's a very comfortable, safe space for people.
I think where we stand a little bit differently, and I think I talked to you about it, is the energy we have when we bring a guest into to a hot seat.
Yeah.
We could feel them. There is an energy there. I don't like that Zoom interview because you really don't feel the person. To me, bring them in here and have a conversation with them. I like to look at people in the eyes. I like the way they feel. I'm very visual on that, and so that's why we stand from the rest. We bring in and we don't spare any expenses. We fly them in. They come up with us. They stay with the weekend. We take them out for dinner. So I think to me it's a great experience to have them here. And we have a beautiful setup. I mean, our studio is top notch.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just meant that we're not going to grill anyone, but I think certainly, like you said at the top, we want to, this is all about, I think, having these conversations and getting to know people and learning from them and just really enjoying ourselves, which is what we're doing.
So all the time we do a little bit different than what I've seen in a podcast, Jamie, is we not only bring a expert in different how do we say that? Different field.
Okay.
In a different
Okay.
field where we're going to have a sex therapy.
Yes.
I want to talk about sex.
Yes.
I think it's very
I know.
important. We had a matchmaker.
You did talk about sex.
Yeah,
last time.
we have a matchmaker. We have a the girl friendly, the woman was talking about how to the support they have when you get divorced. And I think to me it's not just about the Bachelor.
Right.
It's about the conversation.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
I think it's important. And
so on that note, we are going to say that next week is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we've got a great show that week with Dr. Michael Lee is going to be with us. And he's going to talk turkey. Get it? Talk turkey about appearance and aging and all of the procedures that you could consider or not consider. Like you said, we're going to talk about some celebrities and what they've had done, and I think it's going to be a really good, fun conversation with him. And then as we keep saying, keep tuning in, subscribe so that you are alerted to our new episodes, because we have a lineup that includes all of these experts on these topics that are really interesting and we think are resonating and that we're excited about. And then also our friends, your friends from Bachelor Nation and our friends here in Chicago. We've got some good people in Chicago that we're going to bring in, and we're just, we hope to see you next time in our hometown.